dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the twilight zone.
What's up, y'all? Hey, Peek, I see you in there. So, sorry. So we're here to discuss Tyree's update trial, what's going on, testimonies that have been made in his case. That's what we're here today to do. I'm hoping and praying with all these testimonies that have came out that we get the right judgment. Hey, Running Bear. Kitty Coo. Yeah, this week was a lot. It was with the testimonies that came out. But I hope the judge or the jury, not the judge, well, the judge too, but I hope the jury see this shit for what it is. Hey, Ari. We had quite a few folks testify this week. We had ex-Scorpion members that testified. We had the medical examiner testify. You had the EMTs testify. So we've had a lot of people testify this week. I hope so, Running Bear. I do. I really hope so. But we know how Tennessee can go. We know. So with the ex-Scorpion unit, the officers that testified in Tyre Nichols case, one of them said he was ashamed. So witness testimonies in the federal trial for 3 former officers accused of beating Tyre Nichols to death continued on Thursday, with 2 ex-Scorpion unit officers testifying that one of their colleagues has a history of excessive force. Kyle Corderay was a member of Scorpion Unit 1 from November 2021 to December of 2022, and was on the team at the same time as all 5 of the officers accused in the January 7th, 2023 beating of Tyre Nichols. Corderay began his testimony by explaining what the Scorpion unit officers called a run tax, which he described as a term referring to the use of force officers use to punish arrestees for causing them problems. He said he had heard Demetrius Haley, Tadarius Bean, and Justin Smith use the term and watched team members use the tax in the past. Prosecutors questioned Corderay on 2 separate arrests that he was involved in while working on the Scorpion unit with the accused officers. In July 2022, the Scorpion unit arrested a man for allegedly taking a photo of himself pointing a gun at an officer while he was not looking. Haley and Emmett Martin were among the officers on the scene. Tell Ramona I said what's up. Corderay said that after the officers tackled the man in his apartment, Martin and Haley began striking him in the face and chest. He was thrown into a few sliding doors while handcuffed and then taken outside, where he was punched in the face by Haley. So once again, Haley has had a problem with beating previously. Like this, Haley's been out here doing this fuck shit. Hey, Dutch. Corderay told the jury that before walking outside, the other officers on the scene were talking about their body cameras being turned off. Corderay advised them his was on and said, I can handle it. So in other words, oh, don't worry about it. I'm going to make it disappear, y'all. In other words, the same shit I've been saying for, I've been hollering this shit for the past year and a half. These cops is fucking dirty. They dirty. He said he was shooed away by another officer, but following them outside. Corderay admitted to covering his camera, uncovering it when Haley hit the man, and then covering it again, claiming that he thought something like this would arise. So, Corderay, I just have one question for you. If you knew this problem was going to happen, AT, if you knew this problem was an issue and you knew that they had been doing this shit, why in the fuck didn't you say something? Why? Why did you let your colleagues beat men that was already handcuffed? Why? I know you're probably not going to answer that because I know for like y'all love that thin blue line where y'all cover each other's back because it's us versus y'all. That's how y'all view it. But if you knew this was an issue and you knew problems would arise from this, why in the fuck didn't you speak out then? Tyree probably would still be here if you would have got Haley and the rest of them off the force. But I digress. And I know, I already know why. I already know why you didn't say nothing because, well, if you say anything and if you snitch on your counterparts, well, then ain't nobody gonna cover your back, and hell, they let you get shot in the head because they can't trust you. I already know. I know. This is why this police officer shit and this thin blue line, it really needs to stop right along with the qualified immunity. That shit needs to go because this is why. This is why. You have officers that are scared to come out and speak out against their fellow officers because they know once they put their name on some paperwork to testify against another officer, it's over with as far as protection. They know that there will be no more covering their back, none of that shit. Hell, they'll let a perp shoot them, beat them, or whatever, and then act like, well, I was coming. We already know. Running Bear, what you don't know, what a lot of people don't know, y'all do know it's a whole new group out here harassing folks, right? You know, they just renamed the unit. Actually, they put 2 new units out here. That's the word on the street. There's 2 new units out here that's doing bogus shit. But which we knew that was going to happen. I knew that shit was going to happen. I knew that they were going to rename the unit, reorganize, and put them right back out there, which is what they did. There's 2 of them, but they haven't released the name of the unit and shit like that. So, but according to my sources out here, there's 2 new units out here harassing folks. Yep, they just moved them. Hey, Grandma Sherry. All right. So I was ashamed of not being able to stop the situation before it happened, said Corderay. I anticipated the retaliation. I did cover my camera in a situation when I shouldn't have. No shit. No shit. Now look, you up here testifying. In November 2022, Corderay, Haley, and Bean were on the scene of a traffic stop that led to a felony amount of narcotics. The arrestee allegedly slipped out of the handcuffs and ran. The officer chased the arrestee and tackled him. They attempted to get him in the squad car when Haley punched him in the face, claiming his response to resistance report that the man was uncooperative. Corderay described the arrestee as dead weight and a bag of bones during the arrest. He said the man was showing passive resistance to the officers. Catherine Gilbert, with the prosecution, had Corderay read over Haley's RTR reports from both arrests. Corderay stated that both of the reports were inaccurate in some capacity. No surprise there. Y'all been committing perjury on these goddamn use of force forms, but I digress. In both RTR reports, Haley attempted to justify the strikes to each arrestee. Hey, hang on, y'all. Sorry, my neighbor came outside, and I know his little son will start hollering names and shit. I want to protect them, so. Uh, Catherine Gilbert with the prosecution had Corderay read over Haley's RTR's report from both arrests. Corderay stated that both of the reports were inaccurate in some capacity. In both RTR reports, Haley attempted to justify the strikes to each arrestee by claiming they tried to spit in his face, and he redirected their faces to prevent the spreading of disease. Haley, I want to see that on camera. I want to see that. Hey, so now I want to see that. I want to see those body cam footage of where they tried to spit on you. I want to see that. Yeah, that's uh-huh. That's what he claimed. He claimed somebody tried to he well both times he tried to say they tried. So both of them tried to spit on you. I want to see the motherfucking body cams. I'm just saying. Because I think that's a lie. I think that is a fucking lie. Corderay informed the jury that the strike to the head or face is considered deadly force and is not permissible just because a suspect has attempted to spit in the officer's face. He said he read over both of Haley's report at his request before Haley submitted them. Gilbert asked Corderay why he did not notify anyone of the inaccurate information in the reports. And Corderay stated that his silence was due to fear of repercussions. Surprise, surprise. What did I just say? Hey, Sunday. Surprise, surprise. Officers are scared to turn in other officers because they know. They know. The oil farmer's wife, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, Cops know. And I mean, I hate to say that, but they do know. If you snitch on one another, or if you go and make a statement that another cop is out here doing fuck shit, you already know they're not going to have your back anymore. They're not. I mean, that's one of those unspoken codes of being a police officer. There, if you go and snitch on a colleague or a fellow officer and say, look, there was no reason for them to beat him the way they did, you know, they're not going to watch his back. They will let that man get shot in the head and say, well, we was covering the other. They will come up with some excuse as to why they wasn't watching his six. It's fucked up. It is. It's fucked up. And I hate that little thin blue line. I do. I hate it. Because cops that they know it's wrong. What they're a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, and it's fucked up. But unfortunately, Corderay's statements to the FBI were presented to the jury. He admitted to lying in his initial statements about the officer's use of force in the past because he was scared. The prosecution also presented text message between Corderay and Bean from when Martin was hit by a car in the line of duty in November 2022. Corderay told Bean, I know y'all gonna give him that tax. Corderay, I hope you're no longer a police officer. And this is coming from a concerned citizen. I hope that you found a different profession. I hope you didn't take your ass to DeSoto, Collierville, Germantown, or wherever. I really hope you changed your profession because you don't deserve to wear that badge. If you're going to be a weak, coward bitch and not speak out when you see wrong being done to, regardless if they broke a law, if they're not fighting back and all they did was run and y'all literally beat the fuck out of somebody until they're dead and you're scared of retaliation, then you don't need to be a part of this. You don't need this job. I'm sick of y'all hiding behind this, oh, I was scared shit. I'm sick of it. If you're that fucking scared, find a different profession. If you're that fucking scared, you should not be out here patrolling this city and protecting citizens because your scared ass ain't gonna protect shit. You clearly didn't protect Tyre. So why should I trust you? Why should any other citizen in this city trust you? Why should any citizen in any other county or city surrounding us trust you? Because you wear a badge? Say that shit again, Grandma. Say that shit again. If cops are afraid of cops, we're screwed. AB, we're screwed. If you ain't got the balls, the cojones, none of that to speak out against your fellow colleagues. Because, baby, I'm going to tell you, if one of my colleagues fucking, hey, why you do this stupid ass shit? You know hold on. Now we got to fix this shit. Next time, come to me. But you was the go along, get along gang for a while. You was okay with this. When he got hit with the car, you just, oh, I know you finna beat the shit out of him. It was fine. It was okay. It was cool. And now that you have to testify in front of a goddamn fed jury, now I was ashamed and I was scared. And I know that, nah, bro. As a citizen that's in the city, I highly recommend you finding a different profession, something else that doesn't require you to be scared if you don't speak out. Because I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of that line that y'all. I was scared. Really? So that's what we're gonna use. I was scared. I'm ashamed, but I'm scared. You let how many men get beat by this unit? How many times were you a part of the cover up because you were covering your camera, uncovering and covering it again, and you knew it was an issue, but your bitch ass you chose to be a fucking coward and not say a goddamn thing. That's an issue. That's a problem for me. Stand for something or fall for anything. That's what my mama's always told me. And Corduroy, you, sir, will fall for anything. You're a coward. You're a weak ass coward. You're bitch made. You're a weak bitch in my eyes. Because for 2 years you saw this happening and you chose not to say a motherfucking word until Tyre's case happened. And then guess what? Y'all couldn't lie no more. Y'all couldn't cover up no more. You couldn't fucking falsify RTR forms no more. And now you're testifying, of course, against them to save your ass because you're just as culpable in my eyes. I'm sorry. Yo, I'm sorry. If y'all helped this unit beat the shit out of citizens, because I've said it, they've been beating folks. They beat the shit out of my god brother. Filed a complaint. It went fucking nowhere. They did not investigate it. Matter of fact, it ended up being worse on the person that reported it. They started harassing them. And this is why I have an issue with them lowering the standards, because if you don't know what happened in the city of Memphis, I do. I remember it like it was yesterday. We call it the mass resignation. What ended up happening was Nashville came to Memphis and said, y'all are paying your officers too much. You have to cut back. So they ended up changing the pay scale on the MPD officers, which caused a lot of good cops. I know a few of them. A lot of good cops ended up resigning because they weren't taking that pay cut. So then when they did that, we lost half of the force. So what they did was, to replace that force, they lowered the standards. When they lowered the standards, that's when we started getting bullshit officers. Hell, they at one point was talking about bringing people from Puerto Rico and making them officers. And a lot of us citizens was like, that's going to be a badass idea if you do that. If you bring people from Puerto Rico and have them out here patrolling some of our worst neighborhoods, you're going to start a fucking race war. Bottom line. Because for some reason, well, I know the reason, but it ain't my place to speak on it. I don't have an issue with Puerto Ricans. I don't. But some black people have issues with Puerto Ricans and vice versa. Puerto Ricans have issue with black folks. So if you put them in this community to patrol majority black areas, you're gonna have a fucking issue. Zeus. And a lot of us citizens like, hell no, because that's going to be an issue. You're going to cause a fucking race war, because we know what's going to happen. No, it wasn't a good idea at all. It wasn't until we started sounding off and said, if you do that dumbass shit, you're asking for issues. Because black people, that it's a two-way street. Black people have issues with Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans have issues with black folks. There's a reason why. I know the reason why, but it's not my place to speak on it. But there is an issue between those two cultures and races. So when they suggested that shit, a lot of us was like, because what's going to end up happening is MPD is going to be having a whole lot of fucking officer funeral. I hate to say it like that, but that's what it's going to be. They tried. And a lot of us sounded off and was like, that'd be the dumbest shit y'all ever do. Like I said, black folks do not take well to Puerto Ricans and vice versa. They don't. Not here in this city. They don't. So it was a dumbass idea, and I'm glad they didn't go through with it, because they proposed that dumbass shit, and I was like, that is, y'all really have lost y'all's fucking mind in the city of Memphis as far as officials. Y'all really have. You're gonna start a fucking race war in this city between Puerto Ricans and blacks. And black folks will tell you why they have issues with Puerto Ricans. They will. They're very open and honest about it. And Puerto Ricans will tell you why they have issues with black folks. They're open and honest about it. Me personally, I feel like that we just need to sit down and have a conversation with one another. But with tensions being the way they are, it ain't gonna happen. It's not, because Puerto Ricans will not. A lot of people feel, the nicest way I can explain it is, a lot of people feel that Puerto Ricans, sir, you're half black. And Puerto Ricans will not own that. They will not say that they're black. They're going to say they're Puerto Ricans. Even though people know the real history, they're not going to own it. That's why black folks have issues with Puerto Ricans and Puerto Ricans have issues with black folks. So it is what it is. It's some crazy ass shit. I don't know. I just live here and I knew it was a horrible ass idea when they brought the shit up. Because I was like, yeah, that's not going to work. Um, anyway, back to the art. It is messed up, but so now that's how they view it. That's how they look at it, unfortunately. I at the end of the day, me personally, we're all human. I don't give a fuck what color you are. You bleed just like I bleed. You have emotions just like I have emotions. That's me. But you have some, they don't want to hear that. They don't. So kitty cool, that there's some that do, but then you got some that they not claiming that shit. They are not. They are not claiming that they're part black. They're not. They're not. Miss Breeding, I don't give a damn. I don't be tripping about this shit. I don't. I don't be tripping about this shit. At the end of the day, that bitch deserved the roast, and so did his ugly ass. So fuck them, and I stand on that. Anyway, um, hey, Bo, Josh, to me, it was on Kathy's live. It's still up. During cross examinations, Martin Zumack, Justice Smith lawyer, mentioned that in each of Corderay's interviews, he described Smith as cool and calm. Gilbert asked Corderay if he would describe striking and kicking an arrestee as something having a calm and cool character. No, said Corderay. Zumack finished his cross-examination by asking Corderay if his opinion of Smith still stands, to which Corderay responded, yes. James Harvey, another ex-Scorpion Unit officer, took the stand Thursday. Harvey was also on the scene of the two arrests prosecutors discussed with Corderay. He admitted to watching Haley punch an arrestee in the face in July 2022 and seeing him on video do the same to another arrestee in November of that year. He told the jury that he did not report the incidents and that he lied in his statements to the FBI and in incident reports he wrote for both arrests. So they've all admitted that they committed perjury. I'm assuming that they got a plea deal. That's what I'm going to assume. I'm going to assume for their testimony, the prosecution said, if you testify, we will not bring you up on perjury charges, because that's perjury. So I'm going to say and go on a limb that prosecution had to tell these folks something, because there's no fucking way that half of MPD wasn't charged. Because everybody out there, all the lieutenants that signed off on this shit, all of them should be in cuffs and all of them should be on this trial right now. Me personally. He told the jury he did not report the incidents and he lied to FBI. I don't want to be involved in it, and I didn't want to be considered an outcast. Once again, there goes that issue of if you speak out against your colleagues, you're automatically blacklisted. Cops being scared of cops once again. Um, Others would look at me like I'm not one of them. I was scared to speak up. Harvey will continue his testimony on Friday morning. Darius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith will stand trial over the next 2 to 3 weeks on charges of federal civil rights violations, conspiracy, and obstruction in connection to Tyre Nichols' death. So that was the escorting unit officers. So let's go to the medical care. Let's swap over to the medical care and the failure to render aid by the EMTs that testified. Let's go to them. The federal trial for 3 former police officers, blah blah blah. We already know that. September 20th, Chief Medical Examiner Marco Ross testified he performed Tyre Nichols' autopsy. Chief Medical Examiner Marco Ross testified that he performed Tyre Nichols' autopsy, and he said he first examined a black eye, scrapes on the face, broken tooth, and then internal bleeding. Do you know how much force it takes to break your tooth? I know, because I chipped my, you can't see it because I've had it fixed. Well, these are veneers anyway, but do you know how much force it takes to chip a tooth? Ross said a brain exam of Nichols showed tearing in 3 different parts of the brain. Federal prosecutor Elizabeth Rogers asked Ross if Nichols could have survived these injuries. Ross said if he had survived, he would have had significant cognitive damage, and added that Nichols would have been in a vegetative state if he survived. So he would have been brain dead, essentially. And I know some of this is going to be hard to follow, y'all, so heavy trigger warning. If you can't stomach this, I advise, look, I'm not going to take it personal if you leave. I'm not. I understand this is a lot to process. Imagine me having to report it, but I want the facts to be reported, not this bullshit false ass narratives that they keep trying to push out to save these cops from getting life. So, if you want to leave and exit out, I respect it. I understand. During cross-examination with attorney Martin Zumack on behalf of Justin Smith, Zumack asked if there was anything that could have reversed Nichols' brain swelling. Ross said nothing could have reversed it. Then former MPD Lieutenant Dwayne Smith, bitch ass, that's the one I can't stand because his bitch ass is the one who signed off on the use of force forms. He's the one. And surprise, surprise, guess what? They didn't fire him. They let his ass retire with full pension and benefits. Then former MPD Lieutenant Dwayne Smith was called up to testify. Lieutenant Smith had previously worked for the department for 25 years and retired in 2023 in lieu of termination. Lieutenant Smith was the supervisor of the Scorpion Unit, Team 1. The team that defendants Demetrius Haley, Justin Smith, and Darius Bean were members of. Also on the team were former officers Emmett Martin and Desmond Mills Jr., who pleaded guilty to the federal charges. Lieutenant Smith said he chose Justin Smith to be the team leader. He said the night of January 7, 2023, he responded to the scene after it was described as a traffic stop and arrest. He said when he arrived, Nichols was handcuffed and seated on the ground. Lieutenant Smith said only the visible injury he could see at the time was a bloody mouth. So, Lieutenant Dwayne Smith, I'm going to call you out on this fuck shit. I'm going to call you out because you're full of shit. Everybody that watched that video knew something more was wrong with Tyre. Everybody. Y'all kept trying to prop him up against a wheel and he kept falling over. His breathing was very labored. Y'all even testified to that. Y'all knew he needed a motherfucking ambulance. EMTs get there, pepper spray. EMTs did not do the basic ABCs of EMT, and I don't know what the fuck they thought. I don't know. So, sir, you're full of shit. You're a fucking liar. You're a piece of shit. And you know what? I'm not going to say what the fuck I want to say. I don't usually wish bad on folks, but sir, you're part of the exception. You are. You're a piece of shit. You are. You signed off on your officers beating a man to death. You went through lengths to cover it up. You told your officers to lie. You lied to the police chief. And then wondered why you was being forced to fucking retire. Of course, me, if it would have been me and I was the chief, your bitch ass wouldn't have been able to retire. Your ass would have been terminated. Fuck your motherfucking pension and fuck your goddamn benefits, bitch. But that's me. Because I know she ain't got the balls to do it. The only reason why she did what she did because she knew we had her officers dead to fucking right. She knew there was no way, bitch, you can cover this up because she had already went through it once with the Red Dog unit in the fucking Atlanta with the fuck shit she did down there. So she knew that this blowback was going to hit her ass hard if she fucking defended those piece of shit officers. So that's the only reason why she didn't have your back. It's CYA, cover your own ass, and you failed to do that. You thought that bitch was gonna have your back. You should have looked in her file a little bit better, because you should have known that bitch went through that shit down there in Atlanta with Red Dog, and she tucked that tail and ran up here and got a new goddamn job, and y'all sitting here thinking she finna defend that bullshit. Nope, I didn't see a driving infraction, so there should have been no reason my officers was pulling them over, trying to make it seem like she's on our side. Bitch, I know who you is. I see behind that fake ass veil you got going on. And I'll be glad when these trials is over. And I'll be glad when they name a new fucking police chief. Because that bitch don't deserve it. She should have never been a fucking police chief here to begin with. We didn't want the bitch. The city council overrided us, the people. Once again, they don't never hear us out. They don't never fucking listen to us. They never want to hear our concerns. They did what they thought was best for the city, and surprise, surprise, now y'all got multi-million-dollar lawsuits against the city because y'all hired this bitch and she created another fucked up ass unit that's got crazy ass mental issues that was going around beating folks. They did the same shit with Red Dog. Look it up. And now look. That's why that bitch is listed as interim police chief. That bitch don't even know if she got a job after this trial, which I'm pretty sure she probably don't. Because if they release her right now, that means that the city gonna own some culpability to this, what happened to Tyre. So they're playing their cards by holding this bitch on. Paul Young doesn't want to do his motherfucking job as a motherfucking mayor and look for a new police chief. He keeps trying to push her in front of us, and we done already said, find a new one. Paul Young, stop being fucking lazy and get a police chief that we want. Do your fucking job. That's what we elected you for, huh? Well, I didn't elect your bitch ass because I didn't like you. I didn't. I think you're a piece of shit too. I do, Paul. I'm going to be honest about that. Because people saw you being black and, oh, he's for us. He's for us. Y'all thought y'all had another warden. No, you don't. Soon as y'all elected his bitch ass, what he do? He raised taxes on every goddamn body, raised prices of every goddamn service that's available in this city, and then sat here and said, well, MPD needs $15 million so they can get overtime pay. Fuck MPD. How about that? How about y'all bring more resources to help people with these STIs and motherfucking HIV? Oh, you ain't gonna do that, pal. And guess who's affected by it more? Majority, the black people. They're the ones running around here with STDs and fucking HIV, herpes, syphilis. They're the ones who's running around here with that shit. And you can't even get us money to help that situation. But you for black folks, fuck out of here, Pop. You're not gonna pull this shit with me. You not. Fuck out of here. You didn't. Hell no, Paul. Folks need to stop electing folks based off of color. I'm gonna keep saying that shit. Just because they're black, just because they're Mexican, just because they're white does not mean they represent you and what you want fixed. People need to do real research when you elect these fucked up ass officials. All right, I'm sorry. I had to go off on a tangent because Lieutenant Smith is a fucking liar. He's a piece of shit and he's a liar. Because all of us that saw the video, all of us knew something was wrong with Tyre. But you gonna say, well, all I saw was a bloody mouth. Stop that fucking lying bullshit. That's why your bitch ass made. Oh, I can't. When he arrived, Nichols was handcuffed and seated on the ground. That's another motherfucking lie. He wasn't seated. He kept falling over. Go back and watch the video. He was not seated. They kept trying to prop him up against the wheel, and he kept falling over. He said when he arrived, officers on his team told him Nichols was injured in a fight after a traffic stop, and there was a struggle getting him back in custody. When prosecutor Catherine Gilbert asked him if he believed what he was told, Lieutenant Smith said, I had no reason not to believe him. Lieutenant Smith was asked if he reviewed the Sky Cop video. He said he didn't review it until much later. Oh, you didn't expect that. I keep telling y'all, if it wasn't for that goddamn Sky Cop cam, this shit would have been covered up. And nobody would be hearing Tyre's name. I keep saying that. Thank God to whoever was watching that Sky Cam. Thank you. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for being real. Thank you for reporting it for what it truly was. Thank you. I don't know who it was that was behind that Sky Cam, which IT department, but thank you. Because if it wasn't for them, this shit would not be making news. Because all we would have had to go with was the body cam. And we know we can see something with our own eyes in the body cam, and cops will still flip it and say how they tried to say, Tyre reached for my gun. Lieutenant Dwayne did not expect that Sky Cam to come out. He didn't. That's why he was so gung-ho about covering for his cops. He didn't think anybody within that department would release that goddamn footage. So whoever, I don't know which IT department, who was watching over the Sky Cam, but thank you. Thank you for doing the right thing. Thank you for bringing this shit to the forefront and telling the truth about what really happened to Tyre. Thank you. Because as you see, if we would have went with their fucking reports that they committed perjury on, once again, I still don't understand why none of these officers was charged with perjury. If it wasn't for that sky cam, this trial would not be going on. Tyre would just be another black man that was killed by cops, and it was justified. So thank you to whoever you are. I don't know your name, but I appreciate you. Thank you. He said once he did watch it, he said, I was surprised. It was surprising. Lieutenant Smith walked through portions of the Mills body cam video. He identified himself as well as the officers on scene. He told the jury that night he went to Nichols' home with Mills to initially find out if Nichols had history of drug abuse, since officer told him Nichols may have been high. That was another thing that they tried to make it seem like Tyre Nichols was a junkie. They did. He also went to tell Nichols' family that he was involved in an altercation with officers, but when he heard it was on the news, he said he realized he mimicked what Mills said, which was Nichols was in custody for driving under the influence. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. So y'all hear this fuckery, right? Y'all hear this fuckery, right? At first, it was a driving infraction. He was driving reckless. That was the first excuse they gave. Then it was, well, he sped up to go through a red light. That was the second excuse y'all gave. Then it was, he tried to reach for my gun. That was the third excuse y'all gave. Now y'all are sitting here saying that he was driving under the influence. Y'all can't get y'all story right to save y'all fucking lives, huh? What, y'all forget the lies y'all tell? I'm legit like, what the fuck? Y'all have literally gave us 5 different excuses as to why this even happened. 5. If we go back to the initial reports, y'all literally sat here and said he was driving reckless. Then one of them sat here and said, no, what he did was he sped up to go through a red light or a green light, whatever, to beat a red light. So that's not a crime. Even though yellow does mean slow down, it doesn't mean you got to stop. So then you said he reached for a gun. Then it was the run tax. Now it's, well, he was driving under the influence. Then on top of that, y'all have found shrooms and stolen credit card and debit cards. And I still think that shit was planted. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I think that shit was planted. I think they had did that to make Tyre a hard criminal out here. I really do. I think that shit was planted because they knew once Tyre died, folks was on their ass. And like I said, excuse me, I don't like being crump. I've made that, I don't like the man. I think it's what he does for families is it's a show. I think he does it to you can watch him during family press conference and watch how he talks to the family. When the airman passed in Florida, if you go back to that video, the press conference, you can literally see him telling the mama, hold the picture frame up. Hold it up so they can see it. Like, everything is a photo op for him. But I will say this. I don't like him. I feel like he does the families wrong. But I will say this. If it wasn't for him and Al Sharpton and the rest of these folks getting involved, Tyre would have just been another black man that was killed by officers, and once again, it would have been justified. So I do have to give Ben Crump some credit there. Because usually when he gets involved in shit, cameras are coming. Cameras are coming. So I do give him credit there. Now, Black Lives Matter, I don't have anything positive to say about them. I don't. I've had a bad taste of them ever since my cousin passed away. 7 years old, outside playing with his best friend. Somebody shoots a gun. Bullet wasn't even meant for him. And he got shot in the neck. He screamed mama 3 times, and that was the last thing he ever said. He was gone. That weekend, we had 3 kids die back to back from gun violence, and Black Lives Matter was supposed to be at every last one of these kids' funerals. They didn't show up. And I kept telling folks, something's up with Black Lives Matter. Something is up with them. Something is up with that whole model. And sure shit, later on, it comes out after journalists do a little investigating. These folks is taking your money. They're not putting it back into these black communities like they said they was. They didn't. Go look up what they bought. Buying properties, portfolios, so they can have retreats and shit like that. So that's why I have an issue with Black Lives Matter. And I mean, the movement in itself, I understood why it was started, but I also feel like the people that was involved with it fucked it up. They fucked it up royally. Of course, that happens a lot when the wrong people get a hold of something that's way bigger than them. They fuck it up. They do. They fuck it up. They do. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. I'm going to speak on it. They fuck it up. Just like that bitch that's in, what's it? Ooh, she's near Chicago, super mayor. That bitch got the feds breathing down her neck. She's in here talking. This bitch spent $270,000 on a bulletproof Tahoe. But this town is in the red as far as deficit. That's why I say sometimes we as black people, and it's not all black people, so I don't want folks to like, damn, she just, no, it's not that. It's just a lot of times when we touch shit that is bigger than us, we fuck it up. We fuck it up. I hate to say that, but that's the truth. We fuck it up. We can fuck up a wet dream if you give us the opportunity to, and we will. We'll fuck it up. Hey, Mystery. So I have an issue with, the shit that they tried to do off of Tyre's case. I really do. I appreciate the eyes that was on it. I appreciate the people that had brought awareness to it, such as Ben Crump, Sharpton, folks like that. But it took a minute for Black Lives Matter to even get involved in this. And I can go back to my messages where I had showed Rabbit. I was like, it's mighty funny Black Lives Matter is quiet on this. I wonder why. Because when it came out, it was black officers against a black man. That don't fit their narrative. That it doesn't fit their narrative. So, and it wasn't until people started calling them out and was like, hey man, where the fuck y'all at? That's when they said, oh shit, they watching us. Let us get involved. Yeah. This Black Lives Matter. If it's black folks killing us, y'all ain't got shit to say. When it's black on black crime, y'all ain't got shit to say. Y'all will say that's a fucking myth. That shit be killing my soul. It kills my soul when they say that shit. Well, black on black crime doesn't exist. Bullshit, I see it. You want to tell me how many folks I lost in these streets because of black on black crime? And you want to tell me it's not real? You know how many funerals I've been to? Because of black on black crime? And you want to tell me it's not real? So you want to tell me, once again, a fucking sky came. I see my brother's head get blown off in his fucking infinity, thrown in the street like a fucking dog. And these stupid motherfuckers take the infinity, but they forgot the fucking key fob, which was still in my brother's pocket. So they had to leave the infinity. I watched that on the sky cam. And guess what? It was black on black crime. Just like when my little baby cousin, 7 years old, got shot in his neck. Guess what? It was black on black crime. And until we admit that that shit is real and just stop attributing it to crime, then maybe we can get somewhere. Well, there it goes with that stupid shit again. Maybe we can get somewhere. Maybe, just maybe, we can start changing shit that goes on in our communities. Just maybe. Maybe if we start admitting that the issue is actually real, then maybe we can have some true healing that starts within our communities. But that's me. No, StreamYard is being stupid, so it does that shit every time I go live. It'll actually just cut out. So it does that shit when I be speaking on important shit too. I've noticed that. I guess StreamYard's a hater. I don't know. I'm just talking shit. But the fact that you had 5 black officers beat a black man and then want to holler black on black crime doesn't exist, that's bullshit. And I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear that fucking argument. I don't, because I see it in my city every day. I've been to countless fucking funerals because of black on black crime. Countless. Want to see all the goddamn obituaries I have? Because another motherfucker that was hating on somebody else and they didn't want to see them shining, so they took them out. That's the type of shit we deal with in this city. That's why I said it's crabs in a barrel thinking in this city. It really is. I know I got off on a tangent, but I just like that shit burns my goddamn soul. It burns my soul. And that's why certain things I just will not support. I will not back. I will not give them my motherfucking money because the message behind it started out right, but when you get the wrong people that starts heading these organizations and shit like that, that's when you have shit start fucking up. Twist true. Yes, it's real deal. That's why I be saying it's real deal hatred in this city. And I don't give a damn what nobody say. Memphis is cursed. We are cursed. You know how many lynchings we've had in this city? You know the fuck shit they did to black people in this city? And I say it all the time, the trauma of our past generations, our elders, our great great grandparents, and all of them, that shit is on us. And until we break the cycle and stop this hating and all of this bullshit, it's not going to change. Yes, they have an agenda. It's always been an agenda. When you're raking in millions of dollars for said black people and black communities, and then you turn around and fucking buy goddamn $1 million mansions and shit so y'all can have retreats, that's an issue. That's an issue for me. Of course, I'm not gonna say all black people, but you had some black people that was making excuses for that. And I'm sorry, I'm not one of them ones that's gonna make excuses for fuck shit. If it's fuck shit, I'm gonna call it out. It's fuck shit. Of course, y'all know that. I have no problem calling out fuck shit. Like I have an issue with it. I do. Like I said, like what they tried to do, sure, I can support that. But what ended up happening, nah, I can't support that. And if you support that shit and if you make excuses for that shit, then we're probably not gonna get along. We're not. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. Because there's no excuse on this earth as to why the money that was supposed to go back to black communities was being spent on fucking mega mansions and shit. And I, I could go deeper in that whole rabbit hole, but I'm not going to. There is so much shit I can provide on Black Lives Matter that they say they're for black people, but the shit they have done, uh-uh, uh-uh, nope, nope. So if you want to support and give your money, that is you. I'm not hating on you. If that's what you want to do, go ahead. I can't support it. I can't. Um, sorry, I'm gonna get back on this damn this what Lieutenant Dwayne said, because his bitch, I can't stand this man. The fact that he was able to walk away without a blemish on his career and he went through limps to cover this bullshit up, it's bullshit to me. It's always cops covering cops. But cops, I have a challenge for y'all. When are y'all actually going to start covering citizens? When are y'all actually going to start protecting citizens from your colleagues? When are you going to start doing that? If you see your fucking officer, somebody that you're over, and you see them telling you bullshit and you go with that bullshit line of thinking, and then when you get called out on it, well, I'm just going to retire. No, own that shit, Lieutenant. Own it. You fucked up. Own it. If you did that fuck shit, own it. What you did. You did that fuck shit, and now you trying to twist it in court and shit. Well, I didn't see that. All I saw was a bloody mouth. Sure you did. Sure. When all of us who watched that fucking Skycam video, when all of us watched it, we knew it was more than a fucking pepper spray. We knew. I'm not a goddamn paramedic. I'm not. But I knew there was something wrong with Tyre. More than a goddamn bloody mouth. More than pepper spray. When you're trying to prop him up against the wheel and he keeps falling over, there's something wrong. So I be my temper, man. I'm gonna fuck around, end up in jail if I ever see these cops in real life, because I know me. Lieutenant Smith testified he was the one who asked for Nichols to be transported to the hospital by ambulance. Wait a minute, hold on. I thought the Scorpion team member or the leader of that unit, which one was it? Who was it? Mills ass. I thought he's the one who called the ambulance because he had a problem breathing. Ain't that what we heard last week when I read those testimonies out? See, I couldn't be in this courtroom, y'all, because I'd be like, you fucking lie. You lying piece of shit. So you called the ambulance, or was the Scorpion unit team leader the one who called the unit? Because let y'all tell that he called because y'all said he couldn't breathe, or you noticed he couldn't breathe. And now Lieutenant saying, I'm the one who asked for the ambulance, y'all. So which lie is it? See, y'all can't remember the lies to save y'all goddamn life. I hope the jury see this shit. If I'm seeing it and I'm on the outside looking in, I really hope the jury can see this bullshit. He said later that night he received an update that Nichols was in critical condition. That's when he said Internal Affairs and the TBI were both notified. So September 20th, testimony from Memphis Police Detective. Day 10 started off with testimony from Memphis Police Detective James Harvey. And I believe we already read his where he was scared. Yeah, we read his. All right. So then we have the ex-Scorpion unit supervisor testifies in Tyre Nichols federal case. The federal trial for 3 former MPD officers charged in beating Tyre Nichols closed out its second week with testimony from an ex-Scorpion unit supervisor who claimed that some of the officers' actions were within MPD policy. And of course, Lieutenant Smith testified that none of the 5 officers on the scene on the Tyre Nichols beaten informed him that they had hit Nichols with a baton, punched, kicked, or struck him in the head. He said he was only informed that they had pepper sprayed and tased Nichols on the first scene. The officers informed Smith that there was a struggle and claimed Nichols was on drugs. So y'all just automatically see. Y'all see how they went through that? I'm sorry, but do y'all see the lengths they went through to cover this shit up? The lengths they went through, but before this man even got to the hospital, they was already telling his family, well, he's on drugs and he fought us and then he tried to reach for our gun. They was already planting that seed. They were already ready to commit perjury and cover their asses and pretty much be like, no, he deserved it. Like, they went through lengths to cover this shit up. They did. They went through lengths to cover this shit up. They immediately started lying before this man even got to the hospital. The RTR forms, y'all going to his mama house and telling, well, y'all are asking, does he have a drug problem? But then you turn around and say he does have a drug problem. And then months later, like I said, it came out he had stolen debit cards and credit cards and shrooms. Even if he did have that in his vehicle, there was still no justification for you to pull him over to begin with. So that shit is null and void. And the fact that these lawyers are trying their damnedest, of course, that's their job. They're going to try. They're going to try to get their folks off. That's what they're paid to do. I know that. But these lawyers, like, I there's a problem with a culture being fostered within these police departments. We literally can get away with murder as long as everybody is on the same page and tells the same story. Countless time and time again have we heard where these cops have covered for one another, like the the goon squad down there in Mississippi, the lengths they went through to cover up their shit. MPD, Atlanta, Sonia Massey. Like, my list can go on and on and on of where instead of cops doing right by the citizens, it's always nope, we're covering for each other and it's us against y'all. And it shouldn't be like that. It should be all of us. I respect that you're a cop and you have a job to do. I respect that. But at the same time, if you come at me aggressive, and I keep saying this, if you come at me aggressive and immediately start trying to yank me out of my car instead of even y'all never even said what the fuck he did wrong. You immediately get out the car. Respect goes both ways. And people with that badge be thinking, oh, well, I got a badge, so you automatically should bow down and kiss my ass. Otherwise, I'm going to make your life a living hell. And a lot of them do that. They do. Some of them don't give a fuck if they're forcing you in a bad situation. They don't care. They sleep fine at night. I really feel like that registry should be nationwide. If you fuck up, if you commit perjury, just like the Brady list. If you're on the fucking Brady list, you shouldn't even be a cop. But yet half of Arizona cops is on the Brady list and they cannot come in to testify on anything because their word is no longer good in the court of law. Why do we still have them as cops then? Josh, if I can get it, I'll provide it to you. I got your email and I'll send it to you. I don't know if I'll be able to get it with this trial going on because Tennessee is really funny about that as far as FOIA documents while trial is going on. I know the autopsy is out, but I don't know about if the actual forms for the EMT and the incident report is out for them. I don't know. I'll look into it though. It makes zero sense to me. It makes zero sense to me. If you have cops that can't even testify in the court of fucking law because they're on the Brady list, then why the fuck are they still cops? if you have cops that have gotten disciplined numerous times and all they get to do is leave one county, go over to the next county, become a cop there, fuck up there, they quit there, over to the next county, and these fucking chiefs, sheriffs, they will hire these fucking cops. You know this man is mentally unstable. So why the fuck would you? Maybe because I'm in the business of, if you're a liability to me, I can't hire you. That's the business I'm in. If you're a liability to me and my client, I'm not fucking hiring you. I can't take that chance because you're carrying $1 million worth of product and I cannot take that chance. But yet these deputies, these chiefs, these sheriffs, they take that chance over and over and over again. Just like the dumbasses in Millersville. You hired a goddamn crazy motherfucking QAnon goddamn assistant police chief, swears up and down his shit got shot up, which the TBI thinks he did that shit himself, but I digress. Like, and I know being a cop is probably a hard job. I get that. I understand. Don't nobody really want to be a cop because shit, it can flip at the drop of a dime. I know this. But why the fuck would you hire somebody that's a liability to you and yours? That could possibly cost you millions in the long run. I know California got that bad. Arizona got that shit bad. Tennessee got that shit bad. Mississippi got this. Pretty much all the states got that shit bad. Instead of looking at the bigger picture, like that registry, if you get fired, like that registry should be national. If you lose your job as a cop for whatever reason, you should not be able to go to a different county or state and become a sheriff, a cop, a deputy, even a fucking jailer, in my eyes, because you're a liability to me and my county and the residents in this county. Then again, I know my thinking is a little bit different than others. Some folks, well, he could change. Fuck that. I'm not taking that chance. If you already had 6 write-ups for various reasons, you think I'm a fucking hire you to come police black citizens or whatever the case may be, like Sonya Massey's case. All over a fucking pot of water. A pot of water. And I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And as soon as it happened, instead of his partner sitting here calling him out, he kind of just went with it. Instead of rendering help, nope, it's a headshot, don't help. He was already basically just going ahead and you know, telling his story so he wouldn't be charged. And if it wasn't for public outcry, he wouldn't have got charged. Freddie Gray, another one. All them officers that was involved in having Freddie paralyzed and all of that. I think the only one that really, and even then, I still don't think that's justice with Derek Chauvin in 20 years with George Floyd. Breonna Taylor. Nothing. They were justified. No knock warrants need to go. They make excuse after excuse after excuse for these officers. But when we try to use the same excuse, well, first of all, ignorance of the law is no excuse. That's the first thing they hit us with. But a cop be ignorant of the law. Guess what? Well, they didn't know. They're not supposed to know every law. Bullshit. You out here enforcing it, you need to know it. Just like you need to know the Constitution. You swore an oath to uphold and protect. Or let me guess, it was just a paycheck for you. That's all you give a fuck about. Good benefits and a paycheck. Right? Exactly, Pika. If it was one of their fucking family members, they would, oh, baby, they would be on the news hollering, crying, it's not right. I'm an officer myself. But when it's a black person, a Mexican person, anybody else besides a goddamn cop, they beat their own goddamn man. Go look up the Goon Squad and what they did in Mississippi. They beat a fellow a deputy that was in a different county. They beat the shit out of him. That deputy reported them, and guess what? Nothing happened. It wasn't until they fucking shot a man in his goddamn mouth, blew out his teeth, all type of his tongue and shit. I covered it. Like, if it wasn't for them two coming out, Goon Squad still be down there harassing folks. They'd still be down there harassing black folks. Which is what they've done in Memphis. Like I said, yeah, the Scorpion unit got disbanded, but they created two new units out here that's basically doing the same shit now. Don't nobody know the name of the units yet, but they are out here. I know. My sources ain't gonna lie about this shit. There's two of them out here harassing folks. Josh, here in Tennessee, if you just got out of state tags, you're getting pulled over. That's no lie. Here in Tennessee, if you have out of state tags, you're getting pulled over. Same thing in Mississippi. Hell, Mississippi straight up told us on the news. They told us if Shelby County residents come down here, we're pulling your ass over. And they meant that because they don't want Shelby County riffraff down there in DeSoto County. I don't know. We got to have change somewhere. We got to. And I honestly don't know what it will take to get to bridge that gap and that divide between law enforcement. Well, law enforcement, I do know y'all need to stop y'all's fuck shit. Stop all this bullshit. Stop planting evidence on folks because we've seen too many cases of that. I can't remember where that cop was from, but he had the highest rate of narc arrest in the state, ended up getting like a plaque for it and shit, and then come to find out he was actually out here planting drugs on folks to trump up charges. You had the Acorn cop. This man gets hit in a goddamn on his vest by an acorn that hit a truck, and next thing you know, he lit his own goddamn squad car up with a person inside that was handcuffed. Luckily, by that boy had an angel watching over him. He did. He had an angel watching over him. Luckily, his ass wasn't injured when them cops did that. That motherfucker, my legs went numb from a fucking acorn. Oh yeah, the Acorn cop. Go look that shit up. Go look it up. An acorn hit the truck. He swore up and down it was gunfire. He starts firing. His sergeant starts firing, talking about where you hit. Then people show up and they're looking at his goddamn vest and shit. And they're like, where did you hit it? My legs went numb. Lit the fucking squad truck up. Lit it up with a person inside the vehicle that was handcuffed, detained. And like I said, he had angels with him that day because he survived. Then they tried to justify Acorn Cop's bullshit. Tried to justify that bullshit. Like time and time again have we seen where cops overstep their boundaries and do fuck shit and they're not held liable. They're not. Not to the extent we would. If I did some shit like that, let's just say I beat a man to death. Minimum manslaughter, 20 years, minimum. But knowing our fucked up ass state, I would get charged with first degree, which is life, without the possibility of parole. For some reason, cops is never held to the same standards as regular citizens. That badge protects them from every goddamn thing, it seems, even from the court of law. And that's why qualified immunity needs to end. It needs to stop. This shit, they're trying to pass bullshit in Tennessee now where if a cops get caught online and committing perjury, guess what? There's nothing we can do about it. We can't charge them, none of that. Like, that's what the Tennessee Republicans are trying to pass because our cops keep getting called out on fuck shit and the fuck shit that they're doing. So the Republicans are trying to get a bill passed to where you basically can't even investigate if a cop get caught doing fuck shit. You won't be able to see the body cams. You won't be able to see the reports. That's the language that they're trying to pass right now in Tennessee. And you know, if one state follows through with that shit, then other states are going to try to follow through with that shit. It is bullshit. Like I'm sorry. Like no, I'm gonna continue. Like I said, I know I be putting a target on my back. I don't give a shit though. I don't. I don't care. I don't. Because I am my mama's child, and I'm gonna speak out about fuck shit. I'm gonna call fuck shit out. I'm gonna tell you if you're wrong. And the shit we be doing is wrong. The shit that be going on in our state, surrounding areas in other states, especially in the South. I don't know what it is about the South, but they stay be doing bold shit here. Then again, that should be going on everywhere because of hell. Look at the West Coast. Look at this North shit. That's like the guy. That's like the cop killing the judge. My post was so shocked by that, and I'm like, shit, that shit happened here. That shit is real life, and especially in the backwood county motherfucking courts and shit. But then again, if that judge did what I heard he was doing, that Kentucky judge, if he was Let me put it like this. If you put your hands on my child in a sexual manner, bitch, I'll make you dig your own grave and then I'll put you in it. Straight up. If that judge did what they said he did, I don't know. I haven't seen proof of it. That's what the town folks are saying. The one Rabbit reported on yesterday. If that judge did what the town folks is saying he did, I would have made that motherfucker dig his own grave and I would have made sure he never came up out of that motherfucker. Bottom line. For my child. I don't give a fuck if the age of consent is 16, 15. I don't give a fuck. You a grown ass man that's touching my child. I probably would have. And I look, if it's true, like I can't fault this sheriff. I can't. If it's true, I don't know if it's true. Like I said, it hasn't been confirmed. It's only a rumor. But if it's true, what he did to that sheriff's daughter, I would have did the same shit. I wouldn't have been nice though. Like I said, I would have made that judge work. You gonna dig 6 feet deep first. Then I'm gonna make sure your ass don't ever come out that hole. So, but that's the type of shit we be having go on in these little small towns and these counties and shit. Like officials like that get away with bogus ass shit. If that shit would have went to trial, do you really think that judge would have faced any real consequences? Josh, I think it is too, because that man killed him in his own chambers. He unalived him in his own chambers at the courthouse. I don't, but it hasn't been confirmed, so I can't say that's true, though. That's the only thing, Josh. I can't say that's true because it hasn't been confirmed. I do believe it myself because for a sheriff to go through those lengths to make sure a person was unalived, he had to do something real foul and fucked up. I don't think it was about no land. I think what was said by the town folks near there that said that judge was out here breaking the law his goddamn self and doing bogus shit. If that would have been my child, his ass would have been, yep, same thing. Except I wouldn't have done it in his chambers. We would have been in the woods. Walk. Now dig. And when you get done digging, let me know. I hope they do. I really hope they do. But that's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to shit like that, like we gotta have a better system all the way around. Nobody should be above the law between judges, law enforcement, prosecution, defense attorneys. Nobody should be above the law. Hell yeah, those little towns. Them little towns be having deep, dark secrets and skeletons deep in their closets. They really do. That's like here in Tennessee, in one of the small towns closer to Tennessee, closer to Memphis. One of the sheriffs, they actually made a movie about it. One of the sheriffs here, he was a no nonsense sheriff. They ended up killing his wife. And they had made numerous attempts on him, and they eventually got him. And a lot of people thought it was the judge that had a hand in it, because he was actually working on an investigation that had something to do with the judge, and it was crazy. But that's why I was like yesterday, that's not unheard of, especially not in them small towns. Small towns, they handle things a little bit different than the bigger cities. They do. And they're a firm believer in vigilante justice per se. Fuck a court case, fuck jail, fuck a trial. We not now, unfortunately, that sheriff's gonna have to go through a trial, but I also believe he could probably pull a plea of what damn Pico, what is it? Not insanity, it's the other one. I think that sheriff can get off if it's true what the judge did to his daughter. No, it's not insanity, Kitty Coo. It's a different one. Fuck, I can't think. It's not it's not temporary insanity. It's like no, it's not an Alfred plea. Crime of passion. There you go. There you go. Crime of passion. Thank you, Sunday. That's what I was showing over here. Googling and shit. Crime of passion. That if that sheriff is smart, I'd pull that plea. I'm just saying. Josh, it ain't just the judges, bruh. You know how many pastors and preachers that be speaking against homosexuality and then come out that they have been fucking with the choir boys and the deacons and all of that. It's not just these judges. It'd be a lot of crazy shit down here. And look, some of these pastors ain't right. They're not. Motherfucker be talking about homosexuality and turn around, get caught up, and they got down in their house or some shit. And yeah, was it TD Jakes? TD Jakes ass. He one of them. There's another mega pastor out there that got caught fucking with underage boys. Yeah. It's not just judges, unfortunately. A lot of people, hell, even teachers, we're starting to see that more now. And for some reason, it's more women teachers than it is men. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you women? Like, what is wrong with y'all? You know, you're an authority figure to these kids, and y'all are out here plying them with alcohol, drugs, getting them fucked up, and then proceed to essay them and act like everything is normal by the time you go back to school Monday. Like, what the fuck? And then when y'all get in court, y'all want, I'm so sorry. Nah, fuck that, bitch. I ain't got no remorse for you. I don't. They be doing that shit in PD too. Shit, y'all heard about the woman in Tennessee? Like, she was the pass junk for the whole squad. And I hate to say that, but it's true. Like, she was fucking damn near everybody that was on that police force. Then it comes out that she was forced. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know, and I don't want to. I don't want to say she's not a victim because I don't know the circumstances as far as like if she truly was forced. So I don't want to say that. But yeah, she was fucking the whole squad. You had a school resource officer that was also a sheriff or whatever. He was a sheriff or police officer. He was grooming these girls at school. And then when they got to like 16, 17, 18, he would start having sexual relations with them. He got caught. A lot of these people that's authoritative figures abuse their authority. They do. I don't know if it's a power trip that goes to their head, if it's a mental thing. I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't. And I'm not going to try to diagnose it and figure it out. I'm not a therapist, psychologist, none of that shit. I'm not finna try to figure out that fucking sickness in their head as to think it's okay to manipulate kids. Never. Yeah, it was one of them towns. I don't know. I don't remember which one, but she was. I hate to say it, but it's true because they did a number of goddamn reports on her. She was fucking the whole squad, man, including the chief, and all of these folks is married. That's the crazy part. She was married. Then the husband, I think he chose to stick by her side. I don't know. Man, look here. You get caught fucking the whole squad, not just one or two, but the whole goddamn police force. We might as well just go ahead and pay that little $1,000. Let's go ahead and go to the divorce court. Look, you what you came in with, you take. What I came in with, I take. If we got a house, we'll sell it. We'll split the proceeds. You go your way, I'm going mine because I can't support that bitch. You for the team, you for the streets, you for everybody except me. But that's me. Yeah, the motherfucking chief was in. He's in here getting his nut off. I'm like, what the fuck? The whole town, everybody on the force just. I ain't pick up because everybody sat here and told him how stupid he was. I know love can make you see past a lot of shit, but that's not one of them. I'm sorry, not for me. First of all, if you cheat on me once, I'm gone. Fuck out of here. I'm not staying. Because that's the signs of what's to come. Fuck that. I value myself too much. No. Yes, it was all in the news, man. That shit was some hot tea topic in Tennessee for a few months because everybody was like, wait a minute, she was fucking the whole force. She was literally fucking the whole force, including the chief. Then she turned around and sued them and said that it was forced. And the chief was like, nah, little bitch, nah. You know good and damn well we didn't force. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to discredit if she truly was a victim. I just know she fucked the whole goddamn force, literally, including the chief. She did sue. She sued. She sued. She sued and won a little money, a little chunk change up off of that. She did. But her name is tarnished now for the rest of her life because her name was all over the news as the goddamn police force toss junk, basically. Hey, Stevens. Yeah, man. I can't make this shit up even if I tried on my best day. I cannot make this shit up. I can't. I can't. That shit, like, whoo, shit, some of the shit that be going on in these towns and cities, and you can't make this shit up, man. You can't. Neb, no, you're right. A lot of people act like that shit is normal. Like, okay, in my 20s, yeah, I was a little hoe. I'll admit that. I was a hoe. I was a going hoe. I was. I ain't gonna lie about that. Until I settled down. And of course, my dumb ass chose to settle down with the wrong motherfucker. It was just toxic. It was toxic as fuck. And I think that's why I used to get mad after we broke up because I'm like, bitch, out of all the bitches, I settled with your ass when I shouldn't have settled shit. I should have stayed the fuck away from you. But it didn't work like that. Yes, I was a little hoe. I was in my 20s. Like, I'm not stupid. I know I'm blessed. I know this. Um, but when I got to my 30s, first of all, I'm too goddamn old now to be playing these games. I can't remember the lie I told yesterday. So I damn sure can't keep up with the lie I done told this girl, that girl, that girl. I ain't got time for that shit. I don't. So now I'm like, no. And then I'm upfront about my shit, baby. I come with caution tape, red flags, and every goddamn thing else. Like, I literally got caution tattooed on my forehead. So if you want to talk to me, you better proceed with caution. And it's not that I got a lot of baggage, it's the fact that I see red flags and I'm like, I'm good, I'm straight. And I will dip on your ass. I will disappear. Not a word, not a text, not well. I was into you, but no, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm not giving you a goddamn 6-page paragraph. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing none of that. I'm on a completely different level now. And I've noticed in this day and age, a lot of people see what they can get up out of you. It's not what we can build together. It's what do you have to offer? What can you put on the table? Well, bitch, what can you put on the table since you're asking me? I come with 401k insurance, my own shit, my own vehicle. What, I don't rent. I own my shit. What are you bringing to the table? McDonald's paycheck? It's not going to work. And I'm not looking down on nobody. It's just where you're headed in life and where I'm headed is two different playing fields. What you think is important to you is not important to me. I've already probably been there, done that, and I'm over it. I'm trying to build. I'm not trying to build with somebody that, I'll help you, but then at the end, I'm going to try to take half. No, fuck that. And then with me, like I said, I've already got my own shit. I don't need you to get me a house or I don't need you to sign on a vehicle. I have my own. So what do you got to bring to the table? And when people start looking at relationships as just that, relationships, not what you can get out of a person, then maybe, just maybe, divorce rates can go down. Maybe if you look at the red flags and all of that shit before you get too deep into the shit, maybe we wouldn't have the fucking unalive rate, domestic violence, divorce, all of that shit. Just maybe. Baby, if he's got 6 baby mamas, you trying to be baby mama number 7, but you here for it, huh? You don't value yourself. And it shows. And he's taking full advantage of that. He don't give a fuck about you being baby mama number 7. You just another notch on his belt that he conquered. I know, because I used to think like that. Same for women. Some women, man, there are some women out here that is fucked up. My ex, one of them. That bitch looked me dead in my face and lied to me and said she got raped. Looked me dead in my face and said she got raped. I said, well, let's go to the hospital and I need you to file a police report. She wouldn't do it. Come to find out, a few years later, you get in a relationship with said rapist. So it was grape. Then when I said something about, I ain't never said he raped me, bitch. My sister, my mama, my daddy, my brother will all tell you that's what the fuck you said. Even my next door neighbor will tell you that shit because that's what you told us. That's why I said some women out here ain't no goddamn victim. They're not. So that's why I'm very cautious before I hop on these victim trains. People have to understand where I've come from and what I've been through. Yes, that bitch looked me dead in my face and said she got raped. That bitch didn't get raped. She was giving it out willy-nilly, and she ended up pregnant and didn't know how to tell me. Instead of being a grown-ass woman and admitting to your fuck-ups, you lied to me. And then on top of that, you put a jacket on a man that could have got him hurt. Because if people know me and in these streets, then you know what I'm about. That man could have got hurt for real. So I could have been in jail. Somebody else could have been in jail. He could have ended up unalived all over a fucking lie because you can't own your shit. That's why I say I want to hear all sides first before I just sit here and say, yep, he's a victim or she's a victim. I want to hear all of it first. Not just one side. I want to hear the whole side. Like I said, that's why I can't be hopping on that they're a victim train. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. I've been through shit in life. That's why I said, like, some women out here, they know what the fuck they be doing. They do. Now, there's some that are truly victims. There is, and I'm not discrediting that. There is some out here that are truly victims. But you have women like my ex that cannot own her shit to save her fucking life. She will lie and lie and lie to get up out of the lies she previously told. Kitika, I'm not mad about it. I've learned from it. I learned from it. I did. She was a lesson. And I appreciate that lesson. Then it came to, well, you're going to help me take care of the child. No, you can sign over your rights and me and my other ex will take care of the baby. That's what you can do. But I'm not going to care for a child that ain't mine. And they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to sign over their rights. Well, then you don't want my help. Don't act like we planned this, baby, because, baby, we didn't do none of that. You took it upon yourself to have sex with a man and get pregnant by him, and then you thought I'm just gonna be a sucker and take care of the baby. No, find a new one. And he took her, like I said, a few years after she got done messing with her ex-girlfriend that she left me for to go be with. Then she ended up being in a relationship with said rapist. And I'm like, so you got raped though. Josh, I can't say that. That's why I be telling folks, if I told folks about shit I've done, y'all would look at me different. No, I wasn't nice about that situation. I wasn't. I'll be honest about that. I wasn't. I was young. I did some things I wasn't supposed to do, but I did it anyway. Do I regret it? No, not really. You deserved it, bitch. But I knew when we was at that hospital and the doctor tried to make me leave the room as if it was a DV situation. And that man said, well, congratulations, you have a baby and also you have trick. Wait, what? I looked at the doctor. Hey, is there any way you can provide medicine for two of us? Because it's pointless. I'm just going to have to come right back in here my damn self to get medicine for trick. And he did. Yeah, I appreciate the fuck out of that doctor because he did. Instead of me having to go through the emergency room and yada yada, he wrote enough for both of us. But it wasn't nice when we got home. I'm gonna put it like that. It wasn't. And after that, she packed her shit and left, which was probably the best thing for her to do. Because I wasn't gonna. I wasn't. I knew me. You broke my trust. After that, there is no more trust to be given. There is no more I love yous, none of that. Nope. And now that's different though. That's different. That was a choice you made. But when you present it to me as grape and then try to flip it and say, no, that was a choice we made. No, it wasn't. That was a choice you made and you didn't know how to own your shit. And I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Because she was trying to drag me, another woman, and a man along for this bullshit ride. And I wasn't going for it. I wasn't. I was trying, Pika. That's the point. I was trying. It was bad. My daddy said, you gonna kill her. And I looked him dead in the face and said, that's what I'm trying to do. And my daddy put me in a chokehold and drugged me out the house. And after that day, I left it alone. Get your shit and go. And so she left. She went to another state, had the baby, got with another girl. That girl ended up, how they got together was wrong. So they ended up cheating on each other. Like she was still trying to get back with me while she was with the new girl. And I'm like, is you retarded or you dumb? Which one? And yes, I said that word. I'm sorry if it offends y'all, but I felt like that it is what it is. You done thrown every red flag possible for me. You think I'm gonna take you back? No. Exactly, Ari. That's why I said I've been through some things in life and I don't push shit past nobody. Nobody. Because I've had those same people that say they wouldn't do it, do it. I've had people sit here, I ride for you, and no, they're not riding for you. They're riding for what they can get up out of the situation at the moment. Like some, well, I call them acquaintances because they're really not my friends. You know how many people I've told about my YouTube? And you know how many people I've actually seen, like that I know in real life that has came over here and supported me? Zero. Now I haven't told my family about it because I really want them to stay the fuck away from it. I do. I don't want them getting caught up in my shit. I don't. Especially my sister with the profession she's in. I don't. I don't want them to know. But like my so-called friends, and I put heavy quotations on that, they ain't been over here to support. They ain't been over here to watch. So that's why I just have me personally and trusting people and bonding with people. I can't do that on that level because, well, For one, the trauma I have, yes, some of that shit I do carry with me. And I know I shouldn't, but I don't trust people. I don't. I've told a lot of people that I don't trust people that I call my A1 day ones. I don't. Because everybody has a price and people will flip on you. People will. They'll smile in your face and be your fucking friend and then turn around, get around new people. And then next thing you know, you see a whole new person, basically a fake bitch. Josh, me too. I got my dogs. I got my dogs. Like I was telling somebody that last night, I can't be depressed. You want to know why? Because my goddamn dogs won't let me. They be like, bitch, get up. We gotta go out. We gotta go for a walk, bitch. All right, you've been moping long enough. Come on, pet me. Love on me. It'll make you feel better. Like I can't stay in that spot. But I watch people. I watch how they may act with me versus somebody else. Like I pay attention to shit like that because I've seen some of those same people say, I would never do it to you, do it to you. So yes, I have a little bit of trauma there. So I pay attention to what people say. I pay attention to how people act. And if you really want to know if a person fucks with you, watch how they act with you and when they're not around you. If they come back and tell you, oh, such such talk cash money shit about you, okay, what did you say? If you was around then you heard that, what did you say? Did you defend me or was you a part of that bash? Hey, Nicole. Oh, no, T, I know everybody ain't like that, but there's some people out here that just, what's that saying? Hurt people, hurt people. That's why I say a lot of this shit I attribute to mental. They're not happy with self. They're not happy with the way things are going in their life, or if they've created such a fucking facade that they can't keep up with the lies that they told, so they reinvent themselves and come back, and it's a bunch of crazy shit. Like the shit I've witnessed on this goddamn free app and in real life, you can't make that shit up on your best day. You can't. Ari, I don't either. I'm an elephant, as my mama say. And my sister will tell you. I won't tell my sister. She'll tell you. Her thing is she will not tell me if somebody has done her wrong. You want to know why? Because I'll never like your ass again. If you've done my sister or brother wrong, guess what? Your ass can't come to no more family functions. You can't call my mama. You can't speak to my daddy. Bitch, you better not even speak to my sister. Because no, I'm not gonna invite you around. Fuck that. No. Once you cross that line with me, that's where you stay, and I'm not going back. I'm not. That's one thing I will say. I'm not turning my back on shit. I'm not reviewing shit. Once you've been blocked, that's where you at. I'm not going back. I'm not. I'm supposed to be like, you blocked me out. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going back. I'm not unblocking you. Evidently, you made me feel some type of way to how we got to this point. We didn't just get here overnight. I didn't wake up today and say, oh, I no longer fuck with you. No, you had to do something. I don't fucking wake up on a whim and say, you know what? I'm blocking this bitch, fuck this bitch, fuck that bitch. No, you have to do something to me for me to get to that point. And a lot of times I'll tell you what you did before I even block your ass. I'll be like, look, so this is what you did. You made me feel this way. And for that reason there, I'm sorry. I can't fuck with you no more. Josh, let it go. Let it go. I'm not worried about them. I'm not. I don't know. I do know why. I do. Let me not lie about that. I do know why we got to this point. Now, why their response was the way theirs was, I don't know. I really don't give a shit. It just goes to show the hatred and bigotry that they have towards people. And it ain't just a me thing, it's a lot of people thing. They feel like I bullied them over a fucking shirt, which I didn't. At the end of the day, I said what the fuck I said and I stand on it and I was right. That was one of the moments of I told you so, and they got mad because they were wrong and I was right. All over a fucking shirt. So they swore up and down I bullied them because I said, yeah, you see how that shirt didn't fucking matter to this case? Because it was irrelevant. And he was found with that same damn shirt on. Not on a homeless person, but he had it on when they found him floating in the river. So, yeah. And then it went downhill from there. Because I wouldn't let a bullshit narrative be spun about Sebastian case. And of course, y'all know I will speak out about it. If I feel like there's bad actors involved in this, I'm going to speak out about it. Like with Dog and Coffin Lady. Coffin, bitch, you know what you did. And I roasted your ass twice. And I hope you see it. I do. I hope you see it. Bitch, you can send me a C and D. I don't give a fuck. I'll wipe my ass with it. That's as good as it's going to get. Dog, you can block me, whatever. I don't give a shit. At the end of the day, stay the fuck out of my state. I stand on what I say. I'm not a weak ass bitch. If I said it, I say it. And if I meant it, I stand 10 toes down on it. If I'm wrong, I'll apologize. But I'm not wrong on this, and I know I'm not wrong on this. So no, I'm not apologizing. Just like I wasn't apologizing for the other shit. One band, one sound, bitch. If I do some fuck shit, it reflects on everybody that I helped with their channel. But if somebody does some fuck shit on their side, no, just hold them accountable. No, it don't work like that. One band, one sound. You support them, then you support that fuck shit that happened. So I'm going to call you out on it too. Bottom line. Hey, Cash. I ain't never watched her ass either, Josh, but what she's been doing lately, yeah, it's dangerous. I'm gonna say it. It's dangerous. It's dangerous as fuck because you're painting a one-sided narrative and you're trying to make it seem like the parents is guilty. And I've said it numerous times. Give me that evidence to show that they're guilty. Them leaving a house is not good enough. That's not evidence to me. Chris losing his temper because y'all are sitting here basically calling his wife a goddamn monster and a murderer. That's not enough for me. That's not evidence to me. Give me cold, hard facts that they did something, and I'll go with that fucking narrative all day long. But until then, which I know you bitches can't because there is none, no, I'm not going with it. I'm not going for it, and I'm going to keep speaking out and standing up for them. They're doing exactly what the fuck they were told to do by law enforcement. Shut the fuck up and let us look for your child. And they are doing exactly that. So we're going to vilify them because they're not saying anything. Because at the end of the day, that's really what it is. We're vilifying them because they won't do YouTube interviews. We're vilifying them because they won't entertain all these other bullshit ass creators out here. And I'm not going to say their name, and don't drop their name in my chat, please. Because they won't hop on these folks' platforms and panels and do all this extra shit. they're gonna grift off of this case and they're gonna come up with bullshit narratives all day long to make it them guilty. Exactly, Josh. No, I'm on the side of finding Sebastian. How about that? Because me and Vic was talking, my other mind, y'all know Vic. Me and her was talking another day. And there are some creators that are the good creators, but they're also now starting to, I'm side eyeing it. I am. Because it's all in the name of Sebastian. At the end of the day, none of this shit is gonna help find him. It's not. And I know some people, they're gonna make up arguments and excuses, yada yada, just like the whole I would have never left the house if my child was missing. So you're gonna stay in a house where the floor plans have been leaked online, you have received numerous death threats, you're gonna stay in that same house. That's what you're telling me. No, fuck that. I'm not, I'm sorry. And I'm from the dirty South and I carry faithfully. I'm not staying in a motherfucking house where y'all have leaked my floor plans. You have made threats upon my wife. You have made threats towards my daughter. You think I'm going to keep them in that house? You out your rabbit ass mind. I'm sorry. And it's common sense like that these people are severely lacking. It's severely lacking. Common sense with this shit and the common sense with this case has been severely lacking. It has. And that's why I have failed back from a lot of it because at this point, I don't even give a fuck no more. I don't care about the drama. I don't care. I don't care. I don't. I just want Sebastian found. Stop turning my goddamn state into a circus. Stop making our law enforcement as if they're just fucking incompetent. Stop spreading lies like nobody was able to search. Like, just stop. Yeah, Cash, you're not going to find him over here, unfortunately. You're not. Because I know um yeah, he's not gonna come over here on my channel. I know he's not. Yeah, I know he's not. I'm gonna leave it at that. No disrespect to him, but I know how a certain person got certain information about certain things, and it was through them. And I know this for a fact because he's the only other person. So they put on a good show, but I'm not that person. I'm not a dummy. So yeah, you're not gonna find him in my chat. Unfortunately, you're not gonna see him in my comments because yeah, he knows that I know that he told somebody some bullshit. And he started acting funny with me when they told him lies, of course, about me. And instead of coming to me and asking me about it, he didn't do that. He chose not to do that. So you're not going to find him over here. No problem. You were just asking a question, but yep, you he ain't gonna be over here. Just FYI, because when that other who Josh mentioned when she made a certain comment, I knew exactly where it came from. I knew exactly how that shit played out. And it's funny because if I showed the messages, I would make her look dumb as hell. Um, but yeah, he told her that. And I'm not stupid. I know he did. But why you didn't tell the part of where I got hacked through an old employer of mine? So that's why I said there's a whole bunch of fuck shit, and that's why I said I noticed and I realized when that person had left and when their mind wrench had got removed, I noticed a lot of people acting funny with me, and they was one of them. I'll speak, I'll keep it cordial, but as far as like being fake, I'm not one of them, and I'm not doing it. I feel like there's a lot of fake shit. Um, I know what was said in nonsense chat that day that I was being attacked mercilessly about being a thug, my sexual orientation, how I dress, all of that, me not having a job. I know where some of that information came from, and it came from him. And if he wants to talk to me about it, we most definitely can sit down and talk about it. And I'm pretty sure they're going to get a message from Rabbit, but Rabbit's just going to direct him to me. So that's why I said I don't put shit past nobody on this app. They'll sit here and pretend to be your friend, all while adding fuel to the fire. So, but I think I've been on here long enough. Hell, I've been here 2 hours. But that's where we're at with Tyrese, as far as testimonies and things like that. Y'all know I'm gonna keep y'all updated. I know Wednesday I didn't. It was Wednesday or Thursday. One of them days I didn't post, and that's because like the city of Memphis, city schools had been locked down because threats were made against several schools across the city. And then you had parents fighting at one school because they were trying to pick up their kid. It was crazy, pandemonium, crazy ass shit. Then come to find out they did arrest the people that was making threats towards the Memphis City schools and to the authority or to officials at the schools. Come to find out, it was 15 and 16-year-olds that was in Nashville that was making threats to the Memphis City schools. So now, what their stupid asses don't realize with the school, that is government property. So basically, you made terroristic threats against government property. So good luck with that. And Tennessee has been charging all teenagers as adults. So good luck with that, dumbasses. I don't know what the fuck made y'all think to start calling in threats and bomb threats and shit to Memphis City schools while y'all were hiding in Nashville. I don't know if it was I don't know what y'all were doing, but now you got the FBI on your ass. So good luck. But y'all have a good day. And if I, hear anything that's groundbreaking or shattering to Tyree's case, y'all know I'll go live and tell y'all about it. But that's where we're at as far as testimonies. I've posted them on my page so y'all can read for yourselves. And I know some of those articles is very hard to read. It's hard to follow. It's hard to understand. And you can see the lengths that they went to cover this shit up or try to cover it up. So, but y'all have a good night. Make sure y'all hit the like button, share it out if you can, please. But y'all have a good night, and I'll catch y'all later. All right, peace.